This is K.S. Upadhyay. Dear children, today we will discuss about light energy. What is light? Light is a common form of energy. It makes the things visible to us. You have just seen then where there was no light, we were unable to see anything. Light is electromagnetic radiation. Visible light which we see is a very small part of it. In your higher class, you will study about the other forms of light. The first phenomena we will discuss is reflection. Here in this entire discussion, we will treat the path of light as a straight line rays. Though we have studied in class 6 that light travels in a straight line, but in class 12th we will study that it does not do so. Reflection from a surface follows a very simple rule, which we describe as the incident ray, the reflected ray and the normal. At the point of incidence, all lies in the same plane. What do you mean by plane? Plane in a room, a wall is a plane. Second, the angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection and I is equal to R. Let us see why this light obeys this rule. In figure you are seeing that incident ray and the surface may be a mirror and the reflected ray. You are watching that same angles, means incident angle is equals to the angle of reflection. This is the law of reflection. In class 6, we have seen that light travels in a straight line, but in class 10th it does not do so. You just see that when I pass this laser light and it is traveling in the form of a wave. So, is it traveling in a straight line? No. When it passes through a wire or a simple opening, it is behaving like a wave. So, it differs from class 6 we study that light travels in the straight line. When you will come in the class 12, you will understand this phenomena completely. Now, we say that why this light ray obeys the principle of least time. How I is equal to R? In our books, it is only that they say that angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection, but I question is why it is so? You can do of your own. If we are going from a point A to point B, if the light is reflecting through the mirror, the path travelled by the light is the shortest route, as like you. If you have to go from A place to B place, then will you choose a longer path or a shortest path? So, as the human behavior, light also follows the same behavior and the shortest path is of equal angles. You draw like this, you have to reach from destination A to B, like your home to school or any other place. So, when we draw that any line which comes from A to B, then it may be one of the line, one of the route, one of the path, and the second one is another line you choose, that is A to B, that has been shown by the violet line, but are they obeying the shortest path? Now, you see that which will be the shortest path? The shortest path will be where the angles are same. This is here the third line. The third line is the angles are same. That is why light travels the principle of least time, means that is why I is equal to R. So, the two other lines were the too long. So, light does not travel from those paths and the third one was the shortest route, as well as the angles are equal. Now, we will see that the shortest path is of equal angle. So, like our behavior, human behavior, light also follow the same path. Let us see what happens with the light. I have with me a plane mirror. We will show that laws of reflection, where we have just stated that angle of I incidence is equals to the angle of reflection. I have a laser light, a plane mirror. you can see that both angles are same. So, light is reflected with angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection. With the normal, we can make a normal, and we are seeing that it is obeying the laws of reflection which we have just stated. Now, we have the two type of reflection. One is regular reflection. When we see that the reflecting surface is very smooth, then the rays of light falling on it are reflected, and we see that angle of incidence are equal to angle of reflection. But when there are the surfaces are rough, then we call it the diffused reflection, and we see that light is reflected of in all direction, but it does not mean that it does not obey the laws of reflection. If we will draw a normal on the bumpy surface, as we are seeing in the figure, and that time angle of incidence will be equal to the angle of reflection. Now, we see that our plane mirror we daily see in our home, we see our faces, that the image is formed by a plane mirror. It is a virtual image, it is not real, it is a erect image, and it is of the same size of the object. So, whatever our face is, whatever our body is, so it is also exactly same. Not only same, but when we travel towards the mirror, our image also travels with the same speed. So, the object distance and image distance from the mirror are found to be same, and the speed also, as we go towards the mirror, away from the mirror, it is also same. So, this what we can experiment at our home daily at the mirror which we see in the daily basis. Now, we see that we have the spherical mirrors. Now, we will discuss the reflection at spherical mirrors. We have two types of mirror. One is a concave mirror, another is a convex mirror. If I show you the concave mirror, it is a mirror in which reflection takes place from the cave side of surface, outer side is painted, and the inner or cave side surface is polished to make the reflected surface smooth. Convex mirror, it is a mirror in which the reflection takes place from the bulging surface. Inner side is painted and the reflected side is polished to make the surface smooth. So, these are in my left hand, it is a concave mirror, another is a convex mirror. You can see with a spoon at your home, one side will behave as a convex mirror and the cave side will act as a concave mirror. As you are seeing that concave mirror, when the light travels from the principal axis, after reflection it passes through the focus. But in convex mirror, it is a diverging mirror, it does not do so. So, we had a virtual image of the objects. Let us see that how the spherical mirrors has the terms. We see that you are seeing that with the dark portions, that mirror is a part of the spherical surface, and the center of that circle of the mirror is a part which is showing by a point C, and point C is called center of curvature, and the distance from the pole, that is the center of the mirror, to the center of curvature is known as the radius of the curvature, and the radius of the circle is the radius of curvature. Now, we see that radius of curvature is the distance from the vertex or the pole, and the focus. Focus, we have earlier seen that light ray which comes parallel to the principal axis goes through the focus. So, the distance from the pole or the vertex to the focus is known as the focal length, and the radius of curvature is double of the focal length. So, the focal length is half of the radius of curvature, and it is the focal length which distinct the different type of mirrors as our requirement. Whenever we require of low focal length, we take the low focal length mirrors. When there is a requirement of large focal length, we take large focal length mirrors. How the ray travels? Have you seen that in light ray traveling in the angle, when we talk of the laws of reflection, here we will show by a ray diagram. the object has been shown in the figure and the point from the tip of the object is travelling through the center of curvature. When it travels from the center of curvature, it retraces its path. So, the same path will be followed by the light ray when it passes through the center of curvature. When a light ray travels parallel to the principal axis, it passes through the focus. And when a light ray travels from the focus after refraction through the mirror, it becomes parallel to the principal axis. These are the three rules for formation of images. Now, we will ask why it happens so. At the point of reflection again, it obeys the laws of reflection. When you will draw a normal, you will find that I will be equal to R. When these rays intersect, we will find the image. So, you are saying that an erect object has a inverted image in the case of concave mirror. So, the image will be real, smaller than the object and inverted from the object, and the mirror formula which we have shown, 1 upon f is equal to 1 upon v plus 1 upon u. What is f? F is the focal length, v is the image distance. It is the distance from the pole or the vertex to the image, and u is the object distance. So, this is the relationship. It is a very important relationship between focal length, image distance and the object distance. We will do many questions on this formula. How, if you know that image distance and the object distance, you can calculate the focal length. Now, we will see that when we place the object at different places, what type of image is formed. When the object is located exactly on the focus, from where it will go? It will become parallel to the principal axis. So, rays will not intersect. So, that is why the image will be formed at infinity. So, if you want to make the image to be formed at infinity, what we have to do? We have to place our object at the focus. When the object is placed right on the C, that is the center of curvature. Now, you can draw two rays from here. This is the object which we have placed right on the center of curvature. The first ray will be parallel to the principal axis. After reflection, as you know, it will pass through the focus. The second ray which will go through the focus after reflection from the mirror, it will become parallel to the principal axis. So, where is the intersection of the two rays? It is exactly on the center of curvature. So, image will be formed at the center of curvature. It will be equal in size and real. Let us see the image formation from the convex mirrors. The focal length and the center of curvature will be in opposite side to as in the case of concave mirror due to its aperture. If an object is placed in front of convex mirror, then the light ray, if it appears that it is going through the center of curvature, because light ray will not go through the convex mirror, because the back side is painted. So, it cannot enter inside the mirror. So, it will retrace its path. So, any ray which appears to be passing or going towards the center of curvature, it will retrace its path. The second ray, if it is parallel to the principal axis, now it cannot pass through the focus because the back side is painted, but it appears that it is coming from the focus. And the third ray, which you know that third rule, when the ray will pass through the focus, but in convex mirror it cannot pass through the focus, but it appears to be passing through the focus, it will become parallel to the principal axis. Now, exactly they will not meet because they are diverging, and the convex mirror is diverging in nature. So, these rays do not intersect anywhere over here. Then what will be the? We extend the reflected ray behind the mirror to see where they appear to come from, and that will be the image point. So, you see that we extend the parallel ray or the ray which is going towards the center of curvature or which is coming from the focus. So, they meeting at a point which is image is formed, but it really does not do so, but it appears to be. So, that is the image formation as a convex mirror. So, this type of image formation you will see. So, the image will be virtual, smaller and the erect. But one thing you have to keep in mind, that while drawing the image from the convex mirror, you have to make sure that your ray should not enter similarly inside the convex mirror, but it appears to be coming from that. The second phenomena of light is the refraction of light. We have just seen the reflection. For the reflection, we must have the smooth surfaces or the mirrors, but for the refraction, we are seeing that when light passes from rare medium to denser medium, we see that it bends towards the normal, and when it passes from denser medium to rare medium, it bends away from the normal. This phenomena of bending of light is called refraction of light. You will see here, when this light is traveling from or passing from rare, that is air, to denser, that is water, because water is a denser medium. So, what it is happening? It is bending towards the normal. If we draw a normal here, definitely we will find that it is bending towards the normal, or when it passes from rare to denser to rare, it moves away from the normal. This phenomena of bending of light is called refraction of light. So, the law, Snell's law, says that angle of refraction depends on the indices of refraction, that is n1 sin theta 1 is equal to n2 sin theta 2. What is n1 and n2? n1 and n2 are the refractive indices. Refractive indices means it is the property of medium. That property of medium, we have seen that rare medium and the denser medium will have the different refractive indices, and it will be the ratio of the velocity. Here I want to say that velocity of light is different in rare and denser medium. Exactly same if you travel in the air or if you travel in the water, you will find that your speed is decreasing in the water or in the denser medium. So, as the human behavior, light does. So, the velocity of light is different in two mediums. Let us see that human behavior also. I am showing a picture where there is a drowning child and lifeguard is seeing from outside. So, let us consider it is a rectangular pool, and a lifeguard who is sitting outside the pool and notices that a child is drowning. So, what he has to do? The motive of the guard is to reach the child in the shortest possible time. That is the need of the hour. Other point that he keeps in mind, that if he can run on the ground faster than the speed in water, so he has to choose the path B or he has to choose the path A, but the shortest path will be through C, where the laws of refraction obeys. So, you see that in short, whether there is a wave or the particle, it is the nature of the light. Whenever the two media and the two velocities are involved, light or the human behavior must follow the Snell's law if one wants to see, to take the shortest time. That is what light obeys, the least time principle. Now, we have this rectangular slab. Now, we will see that how light ray behaves with a glass slab. When light is entering, it is clear that after refraction through this glass slab, the emergent ray is not in the same direction of the incident ray, as you see that there is a gap between incident ray and the emergent ray, and the perpendicular distance we define as a lateral displacement, that how much the emergent ray has been shifted from the direction of the incident ray. This you can see in this. Now, we will discuss the type of lenses. As you see that convex and concave, but we have many types of lenses: a concave lens, a convex lens, a plano-convex. Because we know that we see that there are the two surfaces of the lenses, one is plane, another is a convex. Then plano-concave, that one side is plane, other side is concave. Concave or convex, one side is concave, another side is convex, and convexo concave. One side is convex and another side is concave. So, these are the types of lenses which depends on their surfaces, because the lens has the two sides. Now, how does the image formation takes place from a convex lens? Rules are almost similar. If the light ray travels parallel to the principal axis, then after passing through the lens will meet at focus, and another ray which passes through the optical center will pass undeviated, and the third ray which will pass through the focus after refraction through the mirror, it will become parallel to the principal axis, and where these rays will meet will be the position of the image. In first case, we are seeing the rays are coming parallel to the principal axis and meeting at focus. So, image is formed at the focus. In the second figure, we are seeing that object is placed beyond 2f, it means twice of the focal length. Then we are seeing that the ray which is going parallel to the principal axis passing through the focus, and the ray which passes through the center of curvature is meeting between focus and 2f, that is f and 2f. So, we are seeing that the image is formed inverted and real. In third case, we have the object at exactly at the 2f. So, the image is formed at opposite side, that is on 2f. So, the rule will be same, that the rays which is parallel to the principal axis, after refraction it will pass through the focus, and the ray which passes through the optical center will go undeviated. And on the other side of the convex lens, we have the image exactly similar, but inverted, real. In the fourth case, if our object is placed between f and 2f, the same rule, that the light ray which travels parallel to the principal axis will pass through the focus, and the second ray which passes through the optical center will go undeviated. So, we are seeing that A dash B dash image is formed beyond 2f. What type of image it is? It is real, it is inverted and larger in size of the object. In the fifth case, if we place the object at the focus, the ray which will be parallel will go through the focus, and the ray which is passing through the optical center will pass undeviated. As you are seeing, these both rays will never meet. In such cases, we say that image will form at infinity. So, when our object is placed at the focus, its image will be formed at infinity. Our sixth case is different than previous 5 cases, where the object is placed between optical center and the focus. You see, the ray which will be parallel will go through the focus after refraction through the lens, and the ray which is passing through the optical center will go undeviated, as you are saying that they will never meet, but they are diverging. But when we extend in the back side, we see that their image appears to be formed on the same side of the object. In all the 5 cases, the images were forming at the opposite side of the lenses, but in this case the image is formed on the same side of the object and it is enlarged since the rays are not meeting. So, it is virtual and it is erect, which is different in all 5 cases, where the object was placed left side and the image were formed at right side and they were real and inverted. But in this case the image is virtual, enlarged. This property of image formation we do for our daily life examples. You have seen many astrologer seeing the lines of on the hand, as well as the doctors in the ophthalmology or the eye doctors uses this property of the convex lens. Now, we see that how does image form from a concave lens, because we have seen that convex lens is a converging lens, but concave lens is a diverging lens. So, the rays which passes through the concave lens diverge. So, in this case you are seeing that when an object is placed on the principal axis, the rules will be same, that when the ray parallel to the principal axis, it passes diverges after refraction, but it will not meet at the focus, because the focus is on the left hand side, but the rule will be same. So, it appears to be coming from the focus and the ray which passes through the optical center, it passes undeviated, but it is diverging, both rays are diverging. So, where the image formation takes place? Image formation takes place in the same side of the object. Now, we extend these rays to the same side and we find that these two extended rays meet at a point and image is formed. In this case, image formed is virtual, it is smaller than the object or on the same side where the object is placed. Now, we see that refraction through a prism. When we passes the white light through a prism, it disperses into 7 colors, which is known as waveguide, that is violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and the red, because all colors have the different wavelength. So, their refractive index and sin I upon sin r angle of refraction is different. So, all colors deviate with different angle of refraction. So, we have the dispersion in nature. So, when a white light passes through the prism, it deviates into 7 colors. We will see that with the laser light, how does a prism behave when a light falls over it. It is a prism. When we place it here, now we see that how a prism behaves with light. When I pass the light through a prism, we are seeing that this light ray is refracted and from the prism, and finally, we have a emergent ray. What happens when I increase the angle of incidence? The refraction of the light, emergence of the light is changed. When I further increase the angle of incidence, you see that now light is not refracted, it is reflected. This is what you will read in your higher classes, that when light passes through the prism, it reflected, and this is known as the internal reflection. So, it is because of the shape of the prism, sometime it shows the reflection phenomena and it shows the refraction phenomena. It depends on the angle the light is passing through the prism. Now, we will discuss about the defects of vision and its correction. we have generally seen two type of defects. One is called hypermetropia and myopia. Why does it takes place that our children wear the specs and glasses? Because in normal eye vision, the image should be formed at retina. But what happens? Sometimes it forms away from the retina and sometimes it forms before the retina. So, these are the two type of defects. One is myopia, another is hypermetropia. For myopia, we also call it the short sightedness, that we can see the nearby objects, but we are unable to see the distant objects, for which we have a correction. What type of lens we have to use when we are myopic? We have to use the concave lens, because we have earlier seen that concave lens is diverging in nature. So, what will it does? It helps to form the image at retina. So, for a myopic patient, we have to use a concave lens. So, the image is formed at retina. So, for the correction it is used. For hypermetropia, because the image is forming beyond the retina. So, what we have to have, what type of lens we have to use? We have to use the conversing nature of lens. So, we use the convex lens. Now, what the convex lens helps? It forms our image exactly at the retina. Doctors see that what type of defects we have, what type of the correction we have to need, what type of lens we have to make. And the power of the lens is said that is the reciprocal of the focal length of. So, and the reciprocal of the focal length we design by that, and we have the diopter its unit. Sometimes we say that it is plus 1.5, minus 1.5, it is depending on the conversing or diverging nature of our lenses. So, for myopia we use concave lens, for hypermetropia we use the convex lens. There are two types of other defects, that is the presbyopia, and we use astigmatism. We use cylindrical lenses for astigmatism. These are the another type of defects. Presbyopia occurs for the old aged person, so that their ciliary muscles becomes weak, and for that we have to use both the lenses, concave lens and convex lens. For astigmatism we use cylindrical lenses, so that astigmatism is removed, because in astigmatism we are unable to focus on vertical lines. These are the four type of defects of vision. So, dear children, you have seen that after the discussion you are able to see the different mirrors, reflection, refraction, mirror formula, refraction of light through glass slab, through prism, various image formation through the convex lens, concave lens, and the defect of the vision. I am sure that you might have enjoyed it. Thank you very much.